Nightwing 117, Legacy number 304, Tom Taylor writing with Bruno Redondo on the art. I'm just noticing the cover for this as well, which is just, it's Nightwing from the back, but there's the bat ears are there just to signify that it's Bruce that's protecting the streets of Bloodhaven. So obviously Dick went to see Deadman up in Nana Parbat to try and figure out what's going on with them. You know, the poisons made him scared again. And there's a little bit of a flashback at the start, but it's mainly Deadman overtakes his body, takes him up to like a high height, and he's like, all right, there's a net, all you have to do is drop, right? Just get over this fear of dropping from a high height. But he can't, he's scared. He does like drop, but he passes out because he's so scared from it. And it becomes kind of a running thing where it's like, okay, what do we do? Like, oh well, I think we have to get you to relax a little bit. And he makes a joke about, oh, so I'm going to have a bath with scented candles. Smash cut to Nightwing in the bath with the scented candles.
He looks miserable too.
He does.
I love it. He's sitting there, the hair, his kind of unkempt hair and beard. The hair's in his face, and it's just him going, right.
Yeah.
He will not allow himself to relax in this manner. I thought that was so funny.
There's even like a weird joke here where he says, hey, when he has like a revelation, he's like, Boston, I thought suppose you guys have got internet up here. And he's like, it's a secluded monastery. And he's like, oh yeah, it was a dumb question. No, of course we do. People work remotely from here. We need an internet. So he gets in touch with Oracle, and they basically put two and two together and realize who Heartless is, because the only thing that he's had or consumed recently that could have been the poison around the time the fear started was that time he went to see, what's his name, Leland or whatever.
Shelton, what is it? Hold on.
Shelton, yeah, something like that.
Shelton Lyle.
Shelton Lyle, there you go. I remember his name. But yeah, I remember that issue. I remember that happening. And Babs even gives him some shit for taking the drink. And he's like, I had no reason to suspect that it was...
It was hot. I was sweaty, and he offered me something to drink. I'm sorry.
So Babs tells Batman this, who's patrolling his Nightwing, and he's like, yeah, I suspected something fishy was off about that guy, since he was the last person with Dick before, during the fire when all this arc started off. So he's like, I'm going to go and do some detective work, and he goes into the Shell Pharmaceuticals to figure things out. But the big thing here, though, is that Dick is then taken up a mountain, and Deadman's like, okay, you've got a parachute, that's the only way down, I'm going to leave you, you're going to have to get over this. And he basically passes out while he's up there, and has this sort of nightmare / flashback to his parents dying. And this gives him a revelation, because in the dream, his parents say, you belong down here with us, you do. And it makes him realize something that he's never figured out, or just kind of subconsciously hid from himself. Yeah,
he's repressed it.
Yeah, all these years.
Deep in there.
And it doesn't become clear to us what it is at this moment, but he does leap off the mountain, and it's this big, great full-page spread where it's went from this cold tone to this warm sunlight, up above him.
I know that it's when we're dealing with Nightwing and he's an acrobat, and this looks like All-Star Superman, and that can't be an accident. So after he jumps, which the thing that leads up to this, that panel, or those 2 pages with the 8 panels of him on the, well, it's actually a little bit more. Anyways, of the panels leading him onto the side. That all of that looks so breathtaking.
You were talking about the 2-page layout where it's all the thin vertical panels.
Yeah, the thin vertical ones. Yeah. Right, and then we see the time passage, and there's a beautiful color work, right? And then when we get to the page with him finally jumping and his arms are spread outwards, I was looking like, this looks like that All-Star Superman page. Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it.
And the sun's behind him, and he says he's ready to fall. And, it was a very aspirational kind of thing here.
Yeah. Cuts to a week later, he's back in Bloodhaven. Babs is happy to see him. And then he sees Bruce in the Nightwing outfit. And he's like, oh, you filled in for me. How did you find that? And I love the line from Bruce where he says, I patrolled each night. The suit is snug. I quipped twice.
What impressive. The I quip twice made me chuckle.
Yeah, I got a good laugh out of that. That was good. Because Batman's not a quipper. He doesn't quip, right?
No.
Not when he's doing his thing. So yeah. Yeah, so it basically sets up a few things here. They find out that Dick's sister's in trouble because, as far as the public are concerned, Dick's considered to be heartless right now because he was set up, obviously, earlier on in the arc. So he goes to help her, and Tony Zuko's there, roughing up her people. He's got a bunch of henchmen, and goes over to what's her face's mum, who basically badmouths him.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, Heartless told me not to kill the mayor, but didn't say anything about you. So I can kill you as much as I want. And of course, this is where Dick comes smashing in through the window to save the day. Notably, he's not changed into his actual Nightwing outfit yet. He's still just got his Nightwing shirt on with his mask, but he's still got the beard. He's still got the wrappings around his arms.
It's a good look, like for disheveled Nightwing. Like it is a pretty. I don't want to call it iconic, but it does look good.
He's punished Nightwing.
Sure.
He's punished. So yeah. Yeah, so he comes in, it's the whole thing, and he takes out all the henchmen. Zuko runs away, and I love this moment actually where Zuko's running down the stairs and Dick appears behind him, but he's in that kind of like Batman full silhouette mode, the same way that Batman would pop up behind a villain. And Zuko calls him Dick Grayson. He knows who he is, because remember, that was something he was with Heartless when they realized that. And he's like, hey, Zuko, I've got proof of something you did. I've realized something. And he just, like, Zuko's trying to phone Heartless, so I think Heartless hears some of this conversation just at the end of the issue here. But basically, Dick reveals what he realized when he was thinking about the past, which is that the night his parents died, they actually changed the act a little bit. Typically in that act, Dick was supposed to be the one who jumped first, meaning that Dick was the one who should have and was perhaps the target and supposed to die that night, which actually kind of like thematically like worked really well for me here at the end, because one of the things they remind you of in this issue is that a lot of the people who are working for Heartless are only working for him because Heartless has kidnapped their children. So this idea that children are used as leverage is already in your mind. So when this comes up at the end, it's like, oh, Zuko was going to kill Dick as punishment for his parents not, doing his bidding, playing along, whatever it was.
His parents and the circus.
Yeah. So this was like their punishment, and it just sort of went the other way, and it was Dick's parents that died. So I thought this was an interesting little spin on his origin. I mean, credit to Taylor, because normally I tend to groan when people add stuff to the origins of characters, but I feel like both this little detail and also the idea that Heartless witnessed the death of the Graysons, and that's what made him realize he liked watching people die. That, I think both of those have fit in really well and not taken anything away from what the origins already were. And none of this is like made every other previous story about the origin of Dick Grayson feel like it's outdated or anything like that.
No, it adds a bit of nuance to it too, right? That it was supposed to be Dick, not his parents. And this is something that he's repressed in his life, that led to becoming Nightwing.
I think the important thing here is that it was always an intentional planned kill. The fact that he was a target instead of his parents don't really change that much in terms of, but whereas the problem with like Bruce is that if you suddenly say, oh no, they were intentionally targeted, that completely changes the random act feeling of that crime. Whereas with Dick, it was always something that someone did. It was always a premeditated act of someone trying to kill someone. So because of that, this doesn't feel like it completely changes like how it all worked around like that. It just changes, he was supposed to jump first and he didn't, his parents did, and because of that they die instead of him. Right. But that also adds that little bit of guilt for Dick as a, the survivor's guilt.
As the survivor's guilt and all that. And it but that would be like it's saying that like that the Waynes were targeted by the mob, to be taken out. And it's just like, well, no, like, the fact that it was random is what has always inspired Bruce. Here, it's the same that, the parents died, he ends up with Bruce, right? And it creates this, not a sliding doors moment, but it creates like almost like this, not even a timeline. But the fact that it happens in this way instead of how Zuko wanted it, it also leads to Heartless, So it's a nice little spin on the origin.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought of it that way, that Zuko kind of created, in long term, he created both Nightwing and Heartless by doing what he did. That is interesting as well. which makes sense why he's around for this story
Yeah.
as much as he
Well,
is.
and you added Melinda to all of that as well too, and it's just like this one, tiny mobster type guy. When I say tiny, it's like Zuko's not at the level of like Penguin or whatever, right? He's always been kind of a punchline. His biggest thing was helping create Dick Grayson. So here, the fact that he seems to be almost like the keystone to all of this, to Blue Haven, is kind of interesting for Taylor. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just because he doesn't get as much focus as Penguin, though, to be honest. I think, in terms of like how he operates in Bloodhaven, I think he's supposed to be of a similar kind of like stature, if you will.
Okay. I mean, sure, but I mean, he doesn't have a gimmick, right? He's mobster.
No, but like neither.
You know what I mean? Maybe I should have said, instead of Penguin, I should have said Falcone or.
Yeah, but I think they're very comparable, though. I think that's the point. Is that he's Bloodhaven's Falcone, basically.
Yeah.
So. So I like this issue a lot. I think it added some interesting layers to Nightwing's past. This idea that they've all very quickly sort of realized who Heartless is, especially since the public persona has went off grid. Like no one's seen this billionaire since before the fire thing. So yeah, like I think all of that is entertaining. I think what they're doing with Dick's character here is a lot of fun. It's a nice build up to the climax. Because keep in mind, we've only got like what, 1 or 2 issues left.
I think this is the penultimate.
Damn. I mean, yeah, to be concluded. Doesn't say to be continued.
Yeah.
It says to be concluded. So our final issue of Taylor's Nightwing run is next month, which is hard's a little to say, but hey.
Yeah.
But
because it's been quite a fun run. Like it's. It'll go down as an all-timer, but I'm gonna miss, like, it's almost been like a comfort book to where more often than not I can always look forward to it. I can save it last to read, and it's usually gonna deliver. So I'm trying to see if his last one is October's, so we have to wait. It says
that's
October.
That's not next month.
16th. What's that?
That's not next month.
No. So it looks like it's a little bit delayed.
Oh, so it's been delayed. So it's just. But is this issue 118?
It's issue 118, October 16th, at least according to League of Comic Geeks.
Oh, damn it. It's okay. Well, okay, good to know, I guess, that it's not coming out for another month.
And it's going to be Legacy 305, too. So a nice, meaty number. I don't know if it's going to be extra size, though.
I mean, 305 is not a special number. It might be oversized just because it's the final issue of his run.
Last one.
But I don't know if it's if 305 is a number they typically celebrate. It's been a great run. It's treated Nightwing like he's important. It's really got to like the heart of the character. Everything about him trying to help the city with Alfred's money that was left to him has been such a good through line. Heartless has been this through line villain the entire time that they've built up. They've made interest and given him a cool backstory. Plus, you've had this great art most of the time by Redondo. Occasionally, I fill in here or there, but Redondo's been the main event of this run for sure.
Yeah. Do you think Heartless is going to stick around as a villain, or do you think it'll be one of those kind of one and done in the stories?
That depends if he dies next issue.
Yeah.
He could die next issue. Not that I think Dick will kill him, but I could see him meeting his demise some way.
There's a piper to pay somewhere, right? Like,
yeah. I don't know if someone who's more from the anti-hero segment comes out and kills him or something, or maybe I don't know. Maybe all the kids who've been orphaned because all the people's hearts he's taken will just rise up like zombies and like rip him apart. I don't know. I'm joking, of course, but if he doesn't die next issue, then I could see him sticking around. But at the same time, like I could see it being a perfectly neat thing if he does just like if Heartless is just Taylor's run, and at the end of his run, that's him. He's gone. Yeah. But we'll see. It's the sort of thing though. I could see other writers wanting to use him later if he isn't dead.
Well, because he is the anti-Dick Grayson, like the origin and all that type of stuff. So it kind of works thematically. If they do keep him around. But I kind of just like the idea that he has an arc in the Taylor stuff, and so if no one ever uses him, I won't be upset.
No. All right, what are you giving the book, Matt?
I'm going to give this a 9.
Yeah, I think I agree with the 9. Excellent issue, excellent run. Sad it's ending, but we'll see how it wraps up next time.